Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning.
You today?
I'm sorry.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm good today. How are you today?
Today is good day,
That's
after
good.
all. It's a little kind of drizzling, but otherwise it's fine. Yes, so that seemed like any other day. Yes, no big difference. Did you have yesterday a good day, Eddie?
Yes.
Yesterday it was 15th of August, Sri Robindra's birthday.
I know. I joined in 10 minutes late, but I didn't miss much. I was there at the celebration that you all did.
Oh, right, you were there. So nice. I didn't see because I didn't read all the emails, but
Right.
all right, you could have said something.
No, like I told you before, when I'm in a large group, I'm usually quiet. That was a really large group. I came in when there were like 39, and by the time we were at the end, you were guys were almost at 70. You had a good group.
Yeah, yeah. We have a huge group. 74 people were signing in, and these are only emails because behind each email there were groups. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I didn't realize that there were so many centers in the United States.
Well, we invited only five. There are more, but these are five major centers. Yes.
Wow.
We are not many actually. We have few in comparison to any other movement. We have very few.
Well, I knew about the one in Colorado, one in California, and the one where you are. Those are the only ones I knew about until yesterday.
Right. There is one in New York, in Matagiri,
Okay.
and one in Boston,
Yeah, I saw them. Yeah.
even one in Albuquerque somewhere there, somebody, and kind of has his own place or something.
There's one in Santa Fe. That's right. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
in Santa Fe there is this David Froley, maybe you know him.
Oh, right. But
He,
he's
he,
not an Aurobindo center, though.
he is not a Aurobindo center, but he's a Robindonian person for all his life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe it's Taos. There is a Sri Aurobindo center either in Santa Fe or Taos. Probably Taos.
Yes, right. But I don't know all of them. They didn't come, all of them.
Right.
Okay, today we have again two of us. I guess we will continue in the same.
I'm not going to complain.
I know it's not bad.
I like small groups.
Yes, somehow we occupy the niche which nobody can come into. You build a kind of
Mm,
wall around it. Mm, People feel energetic wall. You cannot go. Though some people signed him and wanted to be part of it, but yeah, I
I saw
guess.
that on the invitation. Yeah, I thought maybe I'd see Ronica here.
Right. Veronica is very busy doing things in the center with
Yeah,
Kashi.
she and I were going to get together, and she was really busy, and it didn't work. So,
Yeah, she has a hard time to find time for Sanskrit also.
oh, I know she's very serious about her commitments.
Right. But
So,
yeah, there is a limit to the capacity of time.
definitely.
Okay, Gita. Should
Wait,
we?
mantra, please.
Yeah. Om Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhava. All
Will
right.
will you teach me that one tomorrow?
Oh, definitely. Even today, if you want. We'll take a higher level. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatam vande paramananda madhavam. Mukam karoti vachalam. He makes Muka, the one who is mute, the orator, the speaker. Pangum langhayate girim. He carries the lame one who cannot walk, the crippled, over the hills. Yat kripatamaham vande, whose grace, whom I adore, him I adore. Paramananda Madhavam, the Madhava, the Krishna of the highest joy, bliss. So he makes the mute one speak in public, public speaker.
Is that what it means to speak in public, or he just allows him his voice?
No, Vachala, the one who can speak totally,
So like in the
express
word.
himself, express himself.
Got it.
Mm, all right, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. You can see Srimad and Bhagavad Gita. By the way, what we see, Shri Paramatmane, all this Shri,
Mhm.
it was Srimad first. And that mat disappeared, and because Shri Bhagavad Gita or Shri Paramatman, it should be Shri Mate Paramatmane. But then that suffix mat dropped and only Shri was left. So whenever you hear today Shri Shri Ravi Shankar or something Shri,
Mhm.
then you know that it is Shriman. Shriman means the one who possesses Shri, who has the glory, the glorious one. Ronika, unbelievable. Just, hi, Ronika. We were just talking about here, mentioning that you are very serious in Ayurvedic studies. Do you have a microphone, by the way? Can you say the word? Yeah, Ronika. Do you have a sound? Can you say a word? Say hello or something?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you for your voice. Otherwise,
Sorry.
you're just
Sorry, I'm
silent. We do not know whether you're working or not. Your sound is. All right. So today we start the Gita from the very beginning, and we just did Shantipatha. This Shantipatha is used. It is from Shankaracharya. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande paramatmanaya Brahmananda Madhavam. Uh, we will be using it all the time, so you will learn it eventually.
okay.
But here, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the glorious Gita, the song Bhagavat. This is the compositor, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. If I split the compositor, it will be Srimatach Bhagavatach Gita. Gita, the song of the blissful Lord, of the glorious blissful Lord. So when I say blissful, Bhagavan, you will see this word all the time. Bhagavan is the one who possesses Bhaga, and Bhaga is the bliss. In the Vedic language, Bhaga is the Lord of bliss. There are transcendental deities, Varuna Mitra, Aryaman, Bhaga. Varuna is the Lord of the purity and vastness, Mitra of the luminosity, Aryaman of power, and Bhaga of bliss, the Lord of bliss. Later, Bhaga means just bliss. From here you have bhakti, devotion and love. From here you have bhaga as a portion of bliss. And from here you have Bhagya, the destiny, that which is assigned for you as a portion of bliss. So our destiny is the portion of bliss assigned to us to enjoy. You can see how everything is connected in Sanskrit. Yeah? So if you see Bhagavan, you know that it is the one who possesses that particular portion for all of us to enjoy. He is the Lord of our portion, the Lord of our souls, because we are all coming from Anandamaya Purusha. We are the projection of this Ananda and possess this Bhaga. Okay, Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Salutation to the Supreme Spirit, this you know. Shri Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita. When you see the word Atha, it means thus, or so, or thus begins, or something you can translate. You have it Yoganushasanam, Atha Yoganushasanam, for example. For Yoga Sutras, also Atha, it starts the text. Atha Prathamo Dhyaya. Thus is the first Adhyaya. Adhyaya is usually that which was for learning, or the chapter, let us say, is the first chapter, the first canto, if you want, the first song. So we begin. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. So there are the styles of reciting it. There are several styles of reciting Anushtup. Usually Mahabharata is written and Ramayana in Anushtup and Trishtup, these 2 meters. Anushtup is 8-8-8-8, so 4 padas, 4 stanzas with 8 syllabic meter. And this 8 syllabic meter is iambic. So, iambic means tata. Yeah? The step is tata. So the first is low pitch and the second is higher pitch. Tata, 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 tata. This is one pada, one stanza. So we have Dharma Kshetre, Kuru Kshetre. This is the stanza. Samaveta Yuyutsavah, another stanza. Mama Kapandavashaiva, another stanza. Kimar Kurvata Sanjaya, the 4th. And all these 4 stanzas, each one 8 syllables, is named by the meter Anuštubh, or it is known also as Shloka. Shloka is Anuštubh. So when you hear Shloka, you know that it is Anuštubh, and you hear Anuštubh, you know it is Shloka. With this meter, everything is written mainly in Puranas, all the Puranas, all the Shastras, you most probably even Charaka Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, you will see the same meter.
So Vladimir, Anushtup then is the 8.
8-8-8-8, Anushtup.
And that's Anushtup, got it, okay.
Now, if I remove 1 and make 3 of these stanzas, if I remove Akima Kurvata Sanjaya, only these 3 will be first, then it will be Gayatri. Gayatri is 3 8-syllabic stanzas. So if I read Dharma Kshetre Kuru Kshetre Samaveta Yutsavah, Mamakav Pandavashchaiva, then that would be Gayatri.
Gayatri is 3 8 stanzas.
Yes.
Anushtup is 4.
Yes, absolutely. You see, so easy. And Pankti is the next, it's 5. If you add 1 more, it will be Pankti. So we have Gayatri, Anushtup, and Pankti, all built in the same way, only 1 stanza plus, 1 stanza minus. Trishtup is totally different meter, 11 syllabic meter, and mixed iambic and trochaic. We will look into it when we will come to it. I will show you the difference, and it is it has different melody. With Anuštubh, there are several melodies which are popular in India. They were invented later for the sake of reading long texts. When you read, for example, Gita, which is 700 shlokas, to read 700 shlokas is not easy. So you need some kind of melody or some kind of framework in which you could, force all these verses in a less destructive way. Of course, it destroys the meter, it destroys the length of the syllables, because it can't be. You can't fit everything into 1 meter. It's just not possible. That's why we had Vedic accent. Vedic accent was helping to save the accentuation in the word. Otherwise, meter would totally modify the accentuation. So not to be, totally suppressed by the meter, the Vedic accent was invented. Hello, Gunya. This is Gunhild. This is Ronika. Gunhild already met Elia. Gunhild is from Germany, from Bonn. She has a PhD in Sanskrit, in Upanishads, by the way, from Pune University. We met there in 1991. How many years back? I forgot, 30, nearly 30 years back.
Wow.
And okay. So, Anuštubh. And there are several ways of chanting in it. My favorite is this. Dharma kshetre kuru kshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakav pandavaschaiva kima kurvata sanjaya. Now, it's quite difficult to follow the length. You have to pay attention to the length and to the melody. And there you modify a little melody. Like dharma kshetre kuru kshetre, this kshetre long. Samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakav pandavaschaiva kima kurvata sanjaya. So this kind of modification of the length has to take place. Yeah? Gunya, what are you doing? Yeah, it's just all the time picture is moving. So we see ceiling, we see this. Okay. Let us try to read it. Yeah, first technicalities, and then we will go to the text itself. So there is always somebody, something said. So uvacha, have said, or has said in this case. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Dhritarashtra is the king, the blind king, the father of Kauravas, said. Uvacha. Uvacha is perfect. So it is on one line. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Dharma kshetre kuru kshetre. Let us do like this. I will read pada and you repeat after me. We read pada by pada. Dharma kshetre kuru kshetre. Come here.
Kshetre,
Guru Kshetre.
Is it difficult? Yeah. Okay, let us do half pada. Dharma kshetre.
Dharma Kshetre.
Kuru kshetre.
Guru Kshetre.
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 Samaveta.
Samaveda.
Yuyutsavaha.
Yuyutsavaha.
Let us do one by one, okay? Otherwise, because of delay of sound, we are kind of not matching into the same. So it's a good training. Once you know it, it's very enjoyable. You can flow through many chapters with non-stop, and it feels very right. Okay, let's start with Elia, you. Dharma kshetre kuru kshetre. Maybe it's too high for you.
Dharma kshetre, kuru kshetre.
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha
Namo Devaya Yukshavaha.
Samaveta
Samadeta
Yuyutsavaha
Yutsavaha.
Mamakav Pandavaschaiva
Again?
Mamakav
Mamakav
Pandavaschaiva
Pandavas Chaiva
Kimakurvata Sanjaya
Kimat Kurav. Okay, say it again.
Kimakurvata
Kimat Kurvata
Sanjaya.
Anjaya.
Very good. Ronika. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Samaveta Yuyutsavaha
Samaveta Yuyutsavaha
Mamakav Pandavaschaiva
Mamakav Pandavaschaiva
Kimakurvata Sanjaya Kim.
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Very good. Gunya, do you want to read? No. Gunhilde has a problem with the sound. She could lead us also into this. She could chant and we could chant after her. So when we will be chanting like long passages, we will be doing this. I will be chanting this. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. You repeat Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. I say Samaveta yuyutsavaha. You repeat Samaveta yuyutsavaha. Mamakav pandavaschaiva. Mamakav pandavaschaiva. Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Sanjaya Uvacha on the lower pitch. Društva tu Pandavanikam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamom Vyudham Drupadaputrena Tava Shishyena Dhimatam Trashura Maheshvasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yudhano Viratasya Drupadasya Maharatha and so on. So this is the one style. There is another style which is also very popular in India, which I don't like much, but they love it. And this is another. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamakav Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya Društva tu Pandavanikam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. It's like putting me to sleep like lullaby. I like more Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha. There is no not putting you into this. But they adore this. You can hear many people chant in this way. So there are two ways of chanting. There is a third way, which I don't remember now. And there is one more, which is iambic, where some Shaivik people read in this way, like Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavah Mamakav Pandava Shaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya Drushtaya. It's very, very iambic, very kind of nothing special about it. Maybe you heard it also. Like ta 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 ta. Like drums. All right, let us start with the Dhritarashtra. So the blind king, as you remember the circumstances of the Gita, what has happened, why it came to it, where it is started, what is all this about, in what context it is, yes. So Pandavas, 5 kings, 5 brothers, with Draupadi traveling incognito all over the world, waiting for their exile to finish. Usually exile is like 14 years, as it is with Rama. Usually exiles are long enough for them to lose their connection to the kingdom. And then after they exile, they come to Duryodhana. Duryodhana is the king who won their kingdom by playing dice with them. And they demanded the kingdom back, their own portion, because the time of the exile was over. And he refused. So Krishna tried everything to make it peaceful, seemingly at least tried. He met with all the parties, but he was refused. And finally, they came to this battlefield, Kurukshetra. And there is this blind king, Dhritarashtra, standing there far away. And here's Sanjaya. Sanjaya is his advisor, how to say, bodyguard, his general, who is standing close to him and who has this specific gift to see and to hear far away. So the Dhritarashtra, blind king, asks Sanjaya, this is the question to Sanjaya, to his person who can see and hear far away, what is going on in that field. So his question is Dharma Kshetre, in the field of Dharma, Kurukshetra, in the field of Kuru. Notice Kuru, it is the name of his family. They are all Kauravas, Duryodhana and all other kings who fight against Pandavas, Kauravas and Pandavas, 2 families. Kurukshetra, in the field of Kuru, Samaveta, Samava Ita. It's PPP from root E to go, Ava down, coming down together. So those who came down together, Samavetaha, Visarga dropped. Sandhi, rule number 2 for Sanskrit students. Yuyutsavach. Yuyutsavach is Yuyutsu. It's a desiderative base from Yudh, to fight, wishing to fight, willing to fight. So those willing to fight came down in the field of Kuru, in the field of Dharma, Mamakach, my people, Pandavaschaiva, and Pandavas, the brothers, 5 brothers, Pandavas. Kim akurvata, what did they do? O Sanjaya, He Sanjaya. Sanjaya is vocative, that's why there is no Visarga at the end. He Deva, He Nara, He Sanjaya. So, O Sanjaya, tell me what these people, Mai and Pandavas, in the field of Dharma, in the field of Kuru, who came down together wishing to fight. What did they do? So this is the beginning of the Gita. What is interesting here, maybe from the poetic point of view, if you become very subtle about poetry and rhythm, you would feel something is happening, because like Anuštubh is like breathing in and breathing out each pada, like Dharma Kshetre is a call, Kuru Kshetre is an answer. So breathing in Dharma Kshetre and breathing out Kuru Kshetre. Samaveta, breathing in, Yuyutsavaha, breathing out. So if you see the psychology of the meter, you will immediately recognize additional meaning which poet, which Vyasa, great poet, put into this meaning of the meter, through the meter. And it's very beautiful. In the field of Dharma, and it's a quest. What is in the field of Dharma quest? And the answer is in the field of Kuru, not Dharma, in the field of Kauravas. Samaveta, who came together, the quest. And the answer, Yuyutsavach, wishing to fight. So you can see that Kurukshetra and Yuyutsavach are related as a breathing out. And Dharmakshetra Samavetach, those who came together in the field of Dharma, they are in the field of Kuru wishing to fight. This is a very typical Indian way of looking at the creation. It's very beautiful. It's very subtle. It's not visible unless you really feel it when you chant. The same Mamakav Pandavashaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. So Sanjaya Uvacha, Sanjaya spoke. Drishtva tu Pandavanikam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. Okay, Drishtva is absolutive from Drish to see, having seen, but having seen Pandavanikam. Anikam, the front. It's from an root to breathe. Anikam can be also face, front, army. So having seen the Pandavas army, Vyudham, spread. It's PPP from vach, to carry out. Vivach, so Vyudham, spread out. Duryodhana, it's the king, the major son, the eldest son of the Dhritarashtra. His name is Duryodhana, difficult to fight with, difficult to conquer. He is very strong. Tada, then, Acharyam Upasangamya, having come to Acharya, having approached Acharya, and Acharya, he is Dronacharya. He is the teacher of Kauravas and Pandavas, of both. Having approached Drona, Raja, he is the king, Vachanam, the speech, Abravit, spoke. He spoke his speech. Having seen the army of Pandavas spread, Duryodhana approached Dronacharya and spoke his word. So what he said to Dronacharya, he was always suspicious of Dronacharya. Of those who know Mahabharata, you will know that he never trusted Dronacharya totally, because he was so in favor of Pandavas, and his favorite student was Arjuna as an archer. So Dronacharya taught him the shooting from the bow. So of course he was always his heart was on the side of Pandavas. So he approached him, but he was fighting on the side of Duryodhana against Pandavas. This is the difficult part of the whole war here, that the people who were your teachers were on the other side fighting against you. Yeah. Pashya itam panduputranam, pashya etam panduputranam, of these putras of Pandu, Acharya or Acharya Mahatim Chamum, great army, Vyudham, spread, Drupada Putrena, by the putra of Drupada, Tavashishyana, by your student, Dhimata, very clever, your student. So he's kind of reminding him that all these your students are fighting against us on the other front. So the first chapter is very technical. There will be this kind of plot organized. There will be a discussion between the king, Duryodhana, with Bhishma, with Drona, and so you will see all the names will be mentioned. It's interesting from the point of view of Mahabharata story, very interesting. But for us who want to study philosophy, most probably this is the most general chapter. But I will continue and then we will chant together. Atra Shura, here the heroes, Shurah, Maheshvasah, who throws arrow very far with great arrows. Bhimarjuna Maha Ishu Asa. Asa throwing, Ishu the arrow, Maha great. Great arrows throwing. Bhimarjuna Samayudhi. And they are Sama, they are equal to Bhima and Arjuna, Yudhi in the battle. Yudhi is locative from Yudh, battle. In the battle, they are equal to Bhima and Arjuna. And you know, 5 Pandavas are Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. These 5. Do you know this? Do you know Mahabharata story, by the way? I'm telling you as if you don't know. No?
I don't know it.
Oh, you don't know it. Okay. Did you watch some movies on Mahabharata? Shall I recommend some movies?
Sure.
Yeah, there is one movie which I would recommend very much. It is Peter Brook's movie. It's like maybe 12 hours. It's a drama, but you will have all the characters, major characters, their relations. You will get the gist of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is the biggest epic story in the world. It has 124,000 verses. 124,000 verses. 18 volumes. Each volume is like this. So if I put all 18 volumes, it will be the whole shelf of the biggest epic story. So of course, there are many things happening there, and it's quite interesting. It's a fascinating thing. It's really a marvelous creation. We must do something with this. It's the major story of India. It is called Mahabharata Yuddham. Yuddham is taken away, so you have only Mahabharata. Mahabharata Yuddham, the fight of the great Bharatas, of the great Indians. Yeah? So here this fight, it is only 700 shlokas in the middle of the Mahabharata, huge in the 5th volume. This small portion, which is called Bhagavad Gita, but this Gita is standing out so much that it became a part of Shruti. It is taken from Mahabharata but put into the canon of the revelation. But it is part of the Mahabharata. Okay, I guess I covered everything. If something comes still to my mind, I will add to this. It's introductory first meeting session, so I have to tell you the context in which we find Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and you know it is about Krishna. The whole Mahabharata is Krishna related, whereas Ramayana is Rama related. So it's all about Krishna, about his mischiefs, about his fight, about his Yuddham. Here it comes. He is the charioteer of Arjuna. Before this battle happened, he gave a chance to choose to Duryodhana and Arjuna, a chance to choose either him or his army. So he said, if you choose me, my army will go to you. So to go to the opposite side. If you choose my army, I will go to your opposite side. So either me or army, you can choose. So there were 2 of them sitting there, Duryodhana and Arjuna. Arjuna said immediately, you, I choose you. And Duryodhana said, I choose your army, because he had a very strong army. So he was thinking that army would be better for him. It was a little bit, he didn't trust Krishna very much. So that's how he lost his battle. So Krishna is fighting against his own people. Can you imagine? His own army. Unheard of, unbelievable. Mahabharata is a total puzzle. All these stories, it just makes you think all your life. I'm still curious of how all this comes together. Okay, so he says to him, Atrasura Maheshvasa, he is the great archers. Bhimarjuna Samayudhi, equal to Bhima and Arjuna. Yudhanach, Viratascha, Drupadascha Maharathach, and these are the names of the kings. Virata, Drupada, Maharathach is a general, the one who has a great chariot, Maharathach. Ratha chariot, Maha great. It's Bahuvrihi compound, which means the one with a great chariot.
Can you,
Drishtake.
Vlad,
Yeah?
can you put the arrow or highlight when you're reading so we know where you are?
Okay, yes. Yeah. Yudhano Viratashyam, Drupadashya Maharatha, Drishtaketuh, Chekitanach, and Drishtaketu is another clever king, Chekitanach. Kashi Rajashya Viryavan, and the king of Kashi, of the Benaras, Viryavan, powerful one. Purujit, Kuntibhojashya, Shaibiyashya Narapungavach. These are the names of the kings. Yudhamanyu Shavikrantach, and Yudhamanyu is another king. Uttamauja Shaviryavan. I can go into every of these names. There are stories behind them, families behind them, and it's really a marvelous creation. So all of these are on the side of Pandavas, and he tells this to Dronacharya. Look how many are against us. What a powerful army they have. Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva Eva Maharatha, and all of these, and Saubhadra and Draupadeya, all of these names, famous kings, are their generals in the army. Asmakam tu Vishishtaye, and ours, Vishishtaye, only those which are very special, Tanni Bodha, see those, or be aware of those, or Dvijottama, or twice born, or best of twice born. Dvija, Uttama. Uttama the best, Dvija twice born. He speaks this to Dronacharya, to his teacher. And his teacher, Dronacharya, was Brahmin, and he was teaching Kshatriyas to fight. It's also very rare. Usually Kshatriyas are teaching Kshatriyas to fight. But in this case, it was Brahmin. That's why he calls him Dvijottama, the best of twice born. Nayaka mama sainyasya samjñartham tan bravimite. So those who are leaders, yeah, Nayakaha, mama sainyasya, of my army. Again, this my. Duryodhana is very egoistic, always speaks. They are leaders of my army. Samjñartham tan bravimite. I will tell you only just as an example. Samjñartham. Bhavan, you are the leader, and Dronacharya was the leader of the army. Bhishma, and Bhishma is the great king. You know something about Bhishma, no? The whole Mahabharata, by some people, is considered to be the book of Bhishma only. So it is starting from the beginning of time. Bhishma was one of the sons of Ganga. He was immortal born. He was the 8th son of Ganga. There's the whole story of Mahabharata. You have to watch at least the movie. You cannot read the text, but watch the movie and you will see what happened to Bhishma. So he was born immortal, and nobody could kill him ever. So unless he gives up his immortality, he has to give it up. So, well, should I go to Bhishma? Right. But he renounced his marriage because his father was in love with Satyavati, with someone who had a beautiful fragrance of the body. She was the daughter of the fisherman, but the fragrance of her body was so strikingly beautiful that everybody was falling in love with her madly. So the king fell in love with her, and he was afraid. He wanted to marry her, but he couldn't, because if he would marry her, then his sons, and one of them is Bhishma, would be a rivalry to his throne. So Bhishma, for the sake of his father, renounces the throne. He says, I will never marry ever, when he was young. I give a vow. And when the gods heard that vow, that he would never marry this young immortal being, they all whispered from heaven, Bhishma. Bhishma means threatening, terrible one. So it is his major name, Bhishma, given by the gods. So this Bhishma, it is his story. Yeah? There were three ladies. Well, the story is amazing, but we will go to him later. So Bhavan, Dronacharya has similar story as Bhishma, but not as popular, famous, and vast as Bhishma. Karna, wow, it's another great hero who cannot be compared to no one. He also was born immortal. He was born from the Lord of the Sun, and Kunti. Kunti was the mother of Pandavas. You know, before she got her 5 sons, and the first son was Yudhishthira, then Bhima, then Arjuna, then Nakula and Sahateva. Before she got these 5 sons, she had a secret marriage when she was very young with the Lord of the Sun, because she received a mantra which could invoke any god. So she just was curious. She was 16 years old, and she was curious to invoke this Surya. And when she invoked Surya, the Lord of the Sun came to her. He said, you can't invoke me just for fun because you want to see me. I have to do something for you now. So he cast into her seed, which was born as a child, Karna. And he was born with beautiful earrings, golden earrings, and with kavacha. He had kavacha, which was protecting his body, so nobody could kill him. He was the best archer in the world, by the way, better than Arjuna. That's why Arjuna was so envious, and he was always fighting with Karna to be first. So the story of Karna, when Kunti got him, she was very afraid because she was unmarried yet. So she took him, put him into the basket, and put him on the stream, so that he in the basket was taken by some noble man in whose family he grew up, and was known as Sutaputra. It is his name. Sutaputra is the son of the charioteer, because his nobleman, his father, so to say, was Suta, and he was the son of the charioteer. Later he came, when Draupadi announced her Swayamvar, he came to fight for Draupadi as his wife. And he was better in shooting arrows than Arjuna. And from there, that rivalry started. So Arjuna rejected him. He said, you are inferior. You cannot come and fight here for this prize of Draupadi. And Duryodhana saw immediately that Karna is so brilliant. And he said, I make you equal to Arjuna. I give you the kingdom. He gave him portion of the kingdom, the title, everything immediately. And be my friend forever. That's why he is fighting on the side of Duryodhana, not on the side of Arjuna. Do you know this all? Yeah? No? It's too much. I'm very briefly telling you a huge portion of story.
Well, I'm wondering, do we know what, because this story with the baby in the basket is the same
Moses.
story as Moses. So which one came first, or did they come together? Or it's just so interesting that we have similar stories in different traditions.
Right. This is also very fascinating. Very similar to Moses, many portions of it, yes. And then he reveals his divine nature. And when he does, everybody is shocked, how come Karna is so brilliant. And Karna was extremely generous. That is another part of his. He could give anything you ask. Whatever you ask, he would give. Um, and he was much better archer than Arjuna, which was the first in the world. Arjuna was the first, but Karna was better, an immortal being. So what would you do with him? If he comes to fight, this is end. This is the end of the war. First of all, immortal Bhishma on their side. Second, immortal Karna, who nobody can kill, even Arjuna is inferior to him. So what would you do? Really, it's really interesting what it comes, yeah. One by one, we will look into it more and more when we will read the story, and maybe we dedicate some time to one of these heroes a little more, like the whole hour that we look into Karna. I think Karna was the most important prototype of the future being, but he came too early, not into his time. And he became an example for Arjuna to follow. And that's how Arjuna could grow in his mastery, because he had someone who was better than him. That's why he always strived to be better than Karna. That was his major topic through Mahabharata, to become better than Karna. And actually, he even couldn't kill Karna without the help of Krishna. At the end, when the battle is over, one by one they die. Yeah? Bhishma gives up his immortality willingly to Pandavas because he was in favor of Pandavas and Krishna. Karna is giving away his immortality by he was tricked into it. He gave it to the Lord Indra because Indra was the father of Arjuna. And so Arjuna's father came to Karna to trick him and to give up his immortality. And for that, he gave him one spear. Because Karna asked him, "You give me a spear which will defeat God or man. I have to throw only once." He wanted to kill only Arjuna. He didn't care about the rest. But he had to use that spear for other occasion when Ghatotkacha, when Rakshasa came and was destroying their armies. So he used that spear, and he was without definite weapon which can kill Arjuna. So when they came to the battlefield, Karna was before cursed that in the most important moment of his life, the destiny will turn away from him. And when they saw it, that the sun was clouded, because when sun is not clouded, nobody can kill Karna. The sun was clouded, and his chariot was stuck into the road, could not move. And he jumped out and pulled out the wheel of his chariot in the battlefield. Then Arjuna came with Krishna from behind, and Arjuna said, "Shoot now," when he's pulling the chariot out, because there will be no other occasion to kill this hero. So if you miss this occasion, we will lose the war. Even after giving his immortality away, even after the curse. Yeah. So Arjuna is shocked to hear this from Krishna. And in Peter Hees, it's very beautifully projected that Arjuna stands like this with the arrow. He cannot release the arrow. He never shoots per person without the weapon, without the fight. He's standing there and without weapons. And so in the Peter Brook, Krishna comes, takes the arrow with his hand and carries it to Karna and puts it into Karna. It was Krishna's decision, not Arjuna's. And there was no other way to move away Karna. They are such heartbreaking stories. If you read them, you would see that this is a masterpiece in every way. So, and then Kripascha Samitinjaya, Ashwatthama is another story of a great warrior, the son of Drona, how he was tricked and what happened to him, how Shiva entered him, and the Ashwatthama destroyed all the armies of Pandavas except these few. It's really amazing, but we will come to it. Vikarnasya samudatis tathaivacha anyecha bahavach shurach, and other great heroes, madarthet yakta jivitach, trying to, leaving their lives for me, as he says. This Duryodhana is so proud. They are leaving their lives for my sake. They say they're here to die for me. Nana Shastra Praharanaha, possessing different shastras, different weapons. Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha, very skillful, all very skillful in the battle. Of course, if you have these, Dronacharya, Bhishma, and Karna, this would be enough to really destroy any army. And that's what happened in the battle. When Bhishma was fighting, he destroyed all their armies of Krishna and Arjuna, and they had to run away. And then they were having this meeting and saying, what shall we do? If Bhishma is there, it's the end of our battle. We will never win the battle. So what should we do? So they decided to go to Bhishma and to ask their advice, how to kill you, Bhishma. And that's what they did. They went to Bhishma and asked him, please tell us the secret of your death. Can you really help us out? Otherwise, there is no point of fighting anymore. Be immortal being fighting on the field. What can you do to him? And he's the best warrior ever in the world. So he told them the secret, what to do when he will stop fighting. And that was a very interesting story. When he was young and he was already brahmacharin, he refused to marry. He conquered one kingdom and took 3 ladies from that kingdom, 3 princesses, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. And these 3 princes he couldn't marry, so he just took them because he conquered the kingdom. But one of them was married, Amba, and she said, you can't take me from my king, I love him, and so on and so forth. I forgot his name already. Maybe Gunhild remembers his name, that king. And he said, okay, I will send you back to your beloved. If you are married, I didn't know, so please go back. And he is brahmachari, he would never touch them, these ladies. So he sent her back, but the king was furious. He said, you were in the house of the man, and now you're coming to me, you are disgrace to me, and so on and so forth. So he banishes her, and she is humiliated. She says, now I am humiliated by you, Bhishma, because you took me and my husband does not accept me back. He doesn't trust me because I slept in your house. And she says that in the next life, I will destroy you. I will be born as man and will kill you, Bhishma. So what she does sati, she goes into fire with this intention to kill Bhishma, to be born in the next life as man. So she's a woman. And so immediately in few years, she is born as, what was his name? Gunya. Do you remember the name of Amba being born? Shikandin. Shikandin was his name. And the Shikandin was, so to say, a gay, as it were, because from female to male to be born. And Bhishma knew about it. And when he knew that there is Shikandin in the army of Arjuna, he said, you bring Shikandin forward and I will stop fighting. You can shoot me, kill me, whatever you want to do, I will give up. So they brought Shikandin forward. And from behind his back, they were shooting him. He was covered with arrows like a hedgehog all over. And he was lying down on those arrows. And the whole Dharma Parva, the biggest book of Mahabharata, fifth book, is when Bhishma lies down on these arrows and speaks about Dharma. It's his message to whole Mahabharata. He speaks for many days. He's not dying. He's just there to speak, to teach others about Dharma. It's really amazing.
Vladimir, what is the reason for this war?
Right. This is a big and important question. By the way, Krishna was asked the same question. There was a shift. This is the beginning of Kali Yuga. It starts with the battle of Kurukshetra. So Kurukshetra is counted from Kurukshetra onwards. When the battle was finished, the Kali Yuga starts. So there had to be a shift of dharma. And this shift could not take place only through this particular engagement. Somebody asked Krishna at the end, why did you have to kill everyone? And he says, my task was very difficult, to shift the whole idea of ideal mind, because ideal mind was kind of engraved in that old dharma, yeah? Where man dominates women, where man decides what to do. It had to be shifted. So, and it started with the humiliation of Draupadi, if you remember this, the whole story, when Yudhishthira finally lost the kingdom playing dice. He was tricked to play dice with Kauravas. So he played dice and he lost his brothers, his kingdom first, his money, his brothers' lives he put at the end, and he lost them. And the last he put Draupadi, and Draupadi is his wife. 5 Pandavas had one wife, you know that, yeah? Mm. Draupadi. It's also another story. We can talk about Draupadi later, how she became one wife for 5 husbands. It's another bomb which Vyasa put into Indian tradition. Indian tradition would never accept 5 husbands and 1 wife. Never, ever. But he put it there. There is no one person in the whole India whose daughter would be called Draupadi. No way. There are Satis, Savitri, Damayantis, whoever, but not Sitas. How many Sitas are there? But never Draupadi, because she had 5 husbands. So it's really a tricky situation. So Draupadi, when he lost Draupadi, after losing his life and his brothers, Draupadi said, how can you play my life when you lost yours? You have no my life. You're already a slave to them, so why do you play my life? And it is a very valid point, judicial point. But they didn't listen anymore. So when he lost Draupadi, these people who were in the kingdom, there was Bhishma there sitting, and Duryodhana, Karna, and others, Dushasana especially was very brother of Duryodhana. They immediately started to humiliate Draupadi, and they wanted to take off her cloth and to make her a slave immediately, the queen to make a slave from one moment to another because of playing dice. This is the dharma Krishna wanted to destroy. I'm just explaining. You're asking why this battle. This is the battle of a new dignity, of a new dharma. And then she cried out to Krishna, and you know most probably from Indian tradition, especially Puranas. So when they started to pull her sari out, that sari was endless. They pulled and pulled and pulled, and it was constantly going on. There was so much material covered the whole, and they couldn't pull it out. She said, Krishna, I have no protection. My brothers sold me, so you are the only protection. That's why she insists on killing everyone, especially Duryodhana. And Bhima does this for her. At the end. It's at the end. So Draupadi, it is because of her all this war, because she was the queen. And she was a very special queen. Anyhow, and many other great heroes which are living lives. They are skillful in many weapons. They are skillful in the battlefield. But this is what we are coming. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam. It is insufficient. Our force is insufficient. Aparyaptam bhishma bhirakshitam. Protected or guided by Bhishma. Paryaptam, sufficient to, but idam etesham, of these force, Bhima Bhirakshitam, led by Bhima. Why he says this? It's a big puzzle. Many people, many commentaries saying that he didn't trust Bhishma. That's why he said it is insufficient. Our army with two immortal beings and so powerful is insufficient, says Duryodhana. And their army, which is not so powerful, is sufficient, led by Bhima. This is a puzzling statement here in between. Sufficient and insufficient, what it really means. And then he says even more strange thing. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu, in all the movements, yatha bhagam, as if part of yourself, avasthitaha, present there, bhishmam eva bhirakshanto, you must protect Bhishma. You must take care of Bhishma. You bhavantah, sarva eva hi, you all. Take care, take an eye, keep an eye on Bhishma. So why he says this, we do not know. Most probably he was intuitively feeling that Bhishma may turn, and he did betray him. He gave up his secret of immortality with the Shekhandin, which was Amba in the previous birth. And when he is already lying down like a hedgehog, I will finish the story with Bhishma, and speaks about dharma, he says, now it's a time. The last story he said, very interesting, about man in the well who is dying, who has no choice to come up of the well. But on the other side of the well, a deep well into the abyss, there is the stream of honey. And this man who has no choice to move anywhere tries to reach to that honey and to lick it. And he says, I don't understand why. Why does he do this? He cannot live anymore. Why does he try to get a little delight even in that absolutely hopeless position? This is something to think of. It's like a koan. And then he says, okay, enough is enough. Arjuna, please, yes, release your arrow. And Arjuna takes 3 arrows and he releases one. First it was under the head. The arrow straight into the heart of Bhishma. And when he dies, he decides to die. He touches his arrows and he cut. No. I'm lying. In his battle, yeah, one of the arrows was by Shekandin, that very Shekandin who was Amba in the previous birth, and it hit the heart of Bhishma. And then when he is dying, he's touching the arrows, and he comes to this arrow in the heart, in his heart, and he says, Amba. He was always in love with Amba. Nobody knew it until the last moment. It is Amba. And he leaves his body. You won't believe what story, the depth of it, you can't imagine. You never expected this. I would never expect this, But that is how he wanted to die. From his beloved, from the previous birth, he could not marry. So that's why you all keep eye on Bhishma, because he may turn to be a disaster for our battle. And he turned to be that very thing. He gave secret of his mortality to Pandavas, and they killed him. Actually, he wanted to go because he was the son of of Ganga, who invoked 8 vasos, and all of these 8 vasos, one by one, were dropped into Ganga, except the 2 last ones. He was the last one who was cursed to stay in this world and to be the king. He belonged to the ancient lineage of the kings who never continued. Bhishma himself. He was God, actually, incarnate. Nobody knew about it. But in the Mahabharata story, at the beginning, you can see that story, how he got incarnated into this body. Peter Brooks does it very well. You can see it. You can make sense of all these people, how they come together, how they play together in this story. Okay, so these are the heroes which are to fight. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vridhav pitamahach sinhanadam vinadyochaich shankham dadhmau pratapavan. And generating sanjanayan, harsham, the excitement, kuru vridhach, the ancient one of Kurus, pitamahach, the grandfather, pitamahach, Sinhanadam vinadyochaich. He blew into the conch Sinhanadam, which creates the roar of Singha, of the lion. Vinadya, he blew up. Uchaich, very high, with high tone. Shankham is the conch. Dadhmal, blue. Pratapavan, very powerful one. Tatach Shankascha Bhairyascha Panavanaka Gomukhach Sahasaiva Bhyahanyanta Sashabdas Tumulo Bhavat. And after that conch, all other conches and drums and boom, 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 all these. Have you seen the Lord of the Rings? All these huge drums. They're all these powerful instruments. They are all at the beginning of the battle to create the fear in the opposite army. It's just to create the fear, havoc. Sahasaiva Bhyahanyanta, they broke in thousands. Sashabdach, and that sound, tumulo bhavat, became tumulus, it became dangerous, powerful, breaking your heart. Tatach shvetair yukte mahatis yandane sthita madhavav pandavasyaiva divyau shankau pradadmatoch. And after that, on the chariot, yoked with the white horses, Madhava, Krishna, and Arjuna, Pandava in this case, this is his Arjuna name, Divyau Shankau, 2 divine conches, Pradadmatoch, blue the divine conches. This is beautiful. Panchajanyam Harishikeshah. Harishikesha blew into Panchajanyam. Each conch has a name. It's a specific name. Panchajanyam means the creator of five Aryan peoples. There are five Aryan peoples, five races on earth, if you want. The creator of humanity, the conch of Krishna. Harishikesha is his name. Devadattam Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya is the name of Arjuna. Dhanam Jaya, conquering the wealth, the prize. He blew Devadattam. He blew the conch called given by the god. Paundram Dadhamau Mahashankam Bhima Karma Vrikodarach. And Bhima, the second brother, who is the brother whose father was Vayu, pranic force, the strongest in physical force, Vrikodarach, whose name was the belly of the beast, the belly of the wolf belly. Vrika wolf, Udara belly. It is his name. He blew the great shankam, which is called Poundram. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kuntiputro Yudhishthira. And the Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Kuntiputra, of the Pandavas, the king, he was the king who lost his kingdom, brothers and Draupadi. He blew Ananta Vijayam, the conch which is called infinite victory. His father was Dharma, Yudhishthira's father. He was a very beautiful. In that film you will see it's a very nice actor there. Very soft, gentle, and very righteous king. But still he lost his kingdom playing dice. Nakulak Sahadeva Shcha Sughosham Manipushpakam. And Nakula and Sahadeva blew into Sughosham, beautiful sound, and Manipushpakam. Manipushpakam is, how to say, let us put, decorated with precious stones. And there are kings one by one. All the names of this. Oh, Shikandin is here. You see, the Shikandin who will fight against Bhishmas from previous births. Okay, so all they blew their conches, drums, the battle. The battle is announced. That means we are ready. That's the sign of readiness to start the fighting. So you can imagine two armies standing facing each other. There is a gap in between and they're waiting for beginning. And then the sound comes. That means the energy is already there to engage. It's no more, not yet weapons, only that particular statement of the sound. Okay, I do not know. Maybe we stop here. I spoke so many things. I think your head is already spinning.
Can you send us this document so that when you're translating the shlokas, we can like put notes in there?
Sure. We can translate more thoroughly if you want, all the forms, and that you will know how to read it again. I was just giving you a story, was carried away, but we can come back to the grammar.
No, both are good. I mean, if a little slower is better for me, if we focus on grammar, but if Elia is already like more advanced, it's fine, I can follow it.
Yeah, only Gunya is more advanced here, but Gunya knows grammar totally, so, and reads Upanishads and Gita, it's no problem. But otherwise, of course, we can do grammar. I would be very happy that you learn Sanskrit from this also, not only the story. But you see, I'm kind of spreading a little bit my wings on the on this chapter, in the chapter which is not so interesting usually. You know, kind of trying to give you the background, why they are here and what they are here for. And it's much more complex than it looks like, all these names.
It's interesting to learn the background on the characters. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind if even spending time on that.
All right. Yeah, we need this for our general education of Indian tradition, because you will meet them anywhere in other shastras, in even in Ayurveda. I'm sure these names will be there popping up in one way or another. Great. Okay, so I will stop here. If you have some other questions, concerns, please let me answer them, or you just can share some. Gunya, are you still? Your audio is not working, yeah? Gunya could give some ideas. Would be nice to hear. Can you hear us, Gunya? Give a sign with the head because your microphone is not working. No sign. Maybe she doesn't hear it. She only sees the text. She doesn't hear it, cannot speak.
Well, Vladimir, since we've got a little bit of time, would you go over again the very beginning, the mantra that you opened with?
Oh, yes, Shantipata. Okay, somewhere I had it written long ago, but should I type for you?
Please.
Mukam karoti vachalam. I will type for you and we will read it and it will be the end. So we will start every time with this mantra. Our studies of the Gita. It is from Shankaracharya.
Would you send this as well after you?
Yeah, I will send this definitely once I type it. Okay, let us do it. So Mukam, the mute one who cannot speak. Mukam karoti, karoti you recognize, he does. He does mukam vachalam, the speaking one, the orator, the one who can speak fluently and beautifully. So he makes a mute speaking well. Pangum, pangu is the one without legs. Langhayate, Langhayate carries over, makes him jump. A person without legs make him jump over the hills, girim, over the hill. So he makes the speechless speak, the cripper climb up to the mountains, to the top of the mountain. Yat kripa, whose grace kripa. Tam, him, aham, I. Vande, adore. Vande Mataram, if you remember. Vande Mataram, adore, I adore. Labhe, labhate, labhete, labante, labase, labhete, labadve, labhe, labhavahe, labhamahe. Vande, vandavahe, vandamahe. Vande, aham, vande, I adore. Paramanandam, Paramananda, Madhavam. It's one word, Madhavam. It's a long compositor, which means the Madhava. Madhava is the name of Krishna, the sweet one, full of honey, of the supreme bliss. Okay, this is the mantra. Let us then, you see it's also Anushtup or Shloka, 8888, but it has this beautiful melody. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Paramananda Madhavam. Anyhow, it's recorded here. We can read together if you want. We still have 4 minutes. Elia. Mukam karoti vachalam.
Mukam karoti vachalam.
Pangum langhayate girim.
Can you do that one again?
No problem. Pangum langhayate girim.
Pangayal, I'm not sure.
Pangum.
Pangun.
Yeah, pangum langhayate
Pangum langayate.
girim.
Girim.
Pangum langhayate girim.
Pangum langayate girim.
Yat kripa tamaham.
Yat kripa tam.
Aham.
Again.
Tam aham.
Tan aham.
Vande.
Vande.
Paramananda Madhavam.
I'm losing my Paramahamdanla. I lost that.
Paramananda. I climbed with you to do Paramananda Madhavam. Doesn't matter, you do it anyhow.
Do part of it.
Paramananda.
I still can't get it. Parama.
Nanda.
Nanda? Paramananda.
Madhavam.
Madhavan. Nandan Madhavan.
Paramananda Madhavam.
Thanks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you like to do Ronika? Or not? Yeah? You have a good hearing, Ronika. Should be okay. Mukam karoti vachalam.
Mukam karoti vachalam.
Pangum langhayate girim.
Pangulai. I'm trying to read it. Pangum lanagayati.
Langhayate.
Pangum lagayati girim.
Yat kripa tamaham vande.
Yat kripa tam aham vande.
Paramananda Madhavam.
Paramananda Madhavam.
This is the Shanta. We will do it every time, so it will be finally settled, I guess. It's for the Gita only. And then Shanti, Shanti, of course. Great. Okay, I will send you this shloka for your study, and you can have a recording. I guess it'll be recorded. Okay, we recorded. So you can check how to sing if you want to sing this, or you want to read it, it's fine. Okay, thank you. Namaste. All the best. Yeah. See you. Bye.